give you an update on the M2 project here behind me, as we have run into some challenges, some issues with the build. So there wasn't much filming. I've done about week and a half because there was not much progress. So let me explain and elaborate of what's exactly going on. So let me start with some with the bad news. So the bad news is there's some kind of an issue with the steering rack on on the M2. I tried diagnosing it several ways with the dealer grade software and etc. And all I'm coming to is basically that the rack is no good, and I have to replace it, which would sound like an easy fix. But the problem is the brand new steering rack for this vehicle is about $3,500, which is quite expensive for a steering rack. So I'm looking for ways to see if there's any sources out there to fix the existing rack, or there's some kind of ways around it so I could rectify this problem. Because like I mentioned probably before, the rack wasn't damaged in the accident. There's nowhere near. They did not come in contact with anything, so I'm not sure what the problem with the rack is. It's basically what's happening is sometimes when you turn the car on, it works, and sometimes it says that there's a hard malfunction, and basically the software prompts that the rack needs to be replaced, and there's no way around that. So I'm actually working on several ways, sourcing another rack from the same vehicle that is in a good working condition, but I don't have good news on that as of yet. So I'm still in the limbo on that solution. So that'll be all for the bad news. The good news is I managed to get in contact through social media with the original owner of this very vehicle, which is kind of cool. I want to thank him so much for sharing this information with me. That way I could share it with you guys now. So what he mentioned to me, this vehicle actually has a boot mod stage 2, I believe, tune on it. It has a fab speed catless downpipe. It's coded, so the check engine light, it will not come on. It's basically all that stuff is disabled. Like I mentioned before, it has an MPE exhaust. It has the M Performance diffuser, carbon diffuser, which is a very nice and neat option. It's not one of those fake ones that you could get on eBay for $300. The M Performance exhaust, I mean the M Performance diffuser, last time I checked, cost like $1,200. Also, he was able to send me some of the parts that he have left over from his from this car. So what he sent me was his the second key for the car, because the car only had one key in it, the original cat, extra kidney grills, and some other miscellaneous stuff, which I'm very thankful for, and looking forward to completing this build and driving this car on the road and on the track. Since we don't have much to do today, I haven't really recorded any proper sound clips of the exhaust. So let's go ahead and see if we could record some nice exhaust sounds from this from the M2. All right. So as you could tell in the background, I started the car. You can see how the exhaust note is. It's very throaty. So let me get inside the vehicle and rev it up some more so you could hear how this exhaust sounds. That sounds excellent. Whoa, that was something else, wasn't it? Man, this car sounds so good. With that being said, what I'm gonna do now, since I don't have much to do at this very moment, I'm actually gonna take off the back rim, because it has some curbing over here. I'm gonna have it refinished, and the front right one as well has the same kind of issue with the clear coat coming up for some reason. As you could see right here, there's no damage to the wheel itself, it's just the clear coat is kind of like chipping for whatever reason. So yeah, as I showed you before, the inside of the car is mostly finished. As you could see, it's the light is just hanging, but the headliner is all placed, and the back seats are intact. Seatbelt works. You have to put the C pillars, or the should I say the A pillars, and that be it. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'm gonna get a resolution for the steering rack, and the bumper should actually be painted this week as well, so that we should be installing that very soon. So we're gonna have some footage of that while I'm installing it, and making sure that everything works as it should. So stay tuned.